You know, a lot of people have asked me over time, why do I love duck hunting more than I love the others? And for me, it's like the dance. You're calling to try and see if they'll come dance with you.
We're a bunch of determined individuals, and we push for wetland conservation. It is our passion.
Get them. Well done! Right. To see them cut and dip and weave.
But seeing those ducks decoy and seeing that acrobatic moves in the air is something I never get tired of.
It was like the epitome of puddle duck hunting.
To watch the birds work is the real objective of the hunt.
Ducks Unlimited Television is presented by Drake Waterfowl Systems, innovators in waterfowl hunting.
I'm Betsy Nabel. Thanks for joining us on DUTV. Up next, we recap one of the best DUTV seasons ever. From the Louisiana marsh to the Canadian prairies, we hope you've enjoyed this season as much as we have. See it all now on DUTV.
And for me, it's the mystery, that mystery of migration.
You can't help but be drawn to these creatures. There's just so many colors, so many diverse species. It's hard not to be drawn to them.
As hunters and outdoorsmen, we get to see things that most people never see.
Waterfowl hunters are a special breed of crazy.
A lot of times, the harder it is, the more fun it is. And it's chess, not checkers.
Brooke.
Yes, sir.
Talk you into giving up.
Hello, Mr. Goose. Do you have time to talk about your car's extended warranty?
But seeing those ducks decoy and seeing that acrobatic moves in the air is something I never get tired of. Today's hunt, it's the reason why you get up at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning and go out and hold a good spot. It's the reason why you put out 150, 200 decoys. Just the sight of seeing large flocks of redheads and canvasbacks coming in decoys, when they get right in there and they flare those big feet out, and you think they're close, but they just keep coming closer and closer and closer. It's something that you look forward to year after year after year. If you're a diver hunter, open water hunter, this is what you dream of.
I think 35 million people use this area for drinking water, so the cleaner it is, the better.
We don't need to be pumping fertilizer into it.
No, we don't.
Get them, boys.
That might be the ones we're looking for.
So when you see cans, it's like everybody in the boat gets a little giddy. They're easy to tell from a distance, very easy to tell, and we started seeing flights of cans come from the north.
Get up, get up! Yeah, buddy! How's fun now? Woo!
That's got to bring a smile to a duck hunter's face right there. Hard to beat holding 4 cans in your hand.
It's something special. If you've never seen a canvasback decoy and you're a waterfowler, a true hardcore waterfowler, you should find yourself up here to Lake St. Clair with the Lucier boys and come experience this. It's a gift from God to see it.
More cans.
That was awesome.
Today was a gift of God for us and DUTV to be able to bring that to you all. Very, very special day on the open water right here at Lake St. Clair.
That's it.
That's it. Great hunt, man. Great hunt.
Thank you.
On today's hunt, we had, I think, 8 different species in the bag. And that shows the diversity right here on Lake St. Clair when you're talking about surrounding coastal wetlands, the vast open waters, and the type of vegetation that grows out there. To shoot all those different species in one blind location is really almost unheard of. Really, really cool spectacle to see. And leading up to this, it's been pretty mild in the last week or two, and we're a little bit worried about this hunt and how successful it's going to be. But like anything, if you want to go to the beach, you want it to be hot and sunny. If you want to go diver hunting, you want it to be blowing hard out of the north, northwest. You want overcast skies and that gray sky and wind going, and then when you throw in sleet, rain, or snow in it, it's just a magical day to be out there on the open water.
Ducks Unlimited Television is presented by Drake Waterfowl Systems, innovators in waterfowl hunting. Mossy Oak Shadow Grass Habitat, the official camo of Ducks Unlimited. Browning Firearms, the best there is. Native Nurseries, hand-selected, hand-grown plants for wildlife. Higdon Outdoors, quality, customer service, innovation, that's Higdon. And Ducks Unlimited's Conservation for a Continent campaign. Our wetlands, our legacy.
Just to see this state is a blessing. And I understand now the line in the song, Purple Mountains Majesty. I mean, this is where the Purple Mountains are.
Being out there this morning and refining that chemistry that I have with Jared.
One of these boys is gonna come see us.
Feeling that same kinship with Doug. Not just because the hunting was good, but because we're like-minded and we have the same energy around this thing that we love so much, being duck hunting and Ducks Unlimited.
Actually, let's get multiples here. Shoot 'em.
Let's go.
3 down!
Woo! Give me some of that, big man. That's what I'm talking about.
It was just a great and almost a little emotional reminder to me of what Ducks Unlimited and DUTV has meant in my life.
My father has a saying in life, and he basically says, to those as much has been given, much is expected. I kind of use that in the same parallel is to those of us that enjoy this great outdoors
Baby Drake,
and
good
enjoy
job.
hunting and harvesting this game, there's an obligation that we need to give back and keep these resources for future generations.
To know that maybe I contributed a little bit along the way to Ducks Unlimited TV means so much to me. And parallel to that would be the friendships, you know, Jared Brown and numbers of other people that I met along the way, DU volunteers and staff that became some of my dearest friends in that little window of time.
It's so much more than shooting ducks. Ducks Unlimited is about protection, is about restoration. And I want to impress upon my kids, just like my grandfather did years ago on me, there is a great urgency that we keep these wetlands and associated habitats intact.
As the world grows and cities grow and the land changes, it's going to take even more passion just to make sure that the stuff that's natural, the amazing biodiversity that we get to experience in this state is still here.
Ducks Unlimited's conservation mission helps more than ducks. It's also crucial to you and me. Wetlands protect communities from flooding. Wetlands act as filters, improving life-sustaining water quality around the world. They refill groundwater supplies that people rely on every day. Wetlands also protect shorelines and mitigate storm surges. Ducks Unlimited is in the business of restoring and enhancing wetlands important to waterfowl populations. But the truth is, what we do is also vital for people. DU and our partners are focused on changing a startling fact. Humans have drained or damaged roughly half of the world's wetlands. Let that sink in for a second. All those things that wetlands do for our communities, friends, and families are in threat. A prime example is along the Gulf Coast, where we've conserved more than 500,000 acres of wetlands. These marshes help wintering ducks, but they are also an economic driver. And saving coastal wetlands helps these communities and protects their livelihoods for generations to come. In the Great Lakes, more than 35 million people from 2 countries rely on clean water for drinking. DU and Ducks Unlimited Canada are restoring as many marshes as possible to filter pollutants before they enter waterways. And in the arid West, DU's innovative conservation practices are supplying water not just for ducks, but for farmers around the Great Salt Lake and Central Valley of California. To find out how you can help DU restore wetlands habitat, helping waterfowl and people around North America, please visit ducks.org.
DU Insights is brought to you by Mossy Oak Properties. Find your favorite place at mossyoakproperties.com.
You know, it's funny to me when I was coming out of the airport and the very first thing I saw was the car in front of me had the license plate that said Sportsman's Paradise on it, and that's exactly the experience I've had here. Just a cultural explosion of interesting people and interesting places.
Every single one of these shrimp caught with these hands right here. Most rare shrimp on the planet Earth.
You know, the great thing about that is that it just degenerated into laughter immediately.
Shaw, boy. Cuz. Was it cuz? Come on, cuz. It's a tree shaker.
But when I moved from Oklahoma, you know, I had to have Nick, you know, repeat about everything he said just to try to understand it. Sometimes I felt like we needed to get a translator.
I am born and raised in South Louisiana. I come from a place called Thibodaux.
Nick was born into Ducks Unlimited and has been involved since he was, you know, in diapers.
This is his duck camp, and he loves it and has grown up here, and it's very important to him generationally. His grandfathers hunted here, his father hunted here.
So I shot my first duck here at River Rest when I was 9 or 10 years old, but my grandfather and 5 other guys who were all friends through Ducks Unlimited found this place, I think 32 years ago or 33 years ago. And it's been a really cool place for us, but it's been one of those places where you've had to do some work to maintain it. It's not one of those deals where you just show up and everything's taken care of.
Model ducks.
So my grandfather's kind of instilled in us, like, hey, in order to reap the benefits, you got to put in the work.
Did he break? They're about to sit, yo. Nope, they're up.
2 days ago, there were no teal here. They had not got here. And it's amazing that these birds, they know when it's time. They show up.
Get ready, boys.
I was starting to get a little uneasy because we hadn't seen any birds. And then obviously today we got in the blind this morning and boom.
Let's go.
Look at that, baby.
Yeah. Good shot, Zach.
Mason shot that one and the decoy.
Yeah, he did. And maybe a piece of the mojo wing. Mason, your dog sucks. It's this generation, man, I'm telling you.
They don't want to work.
Dog picked up 196 ducks before he's a year and a half old. I don't want to hear you mouth.
My dog would have went over there and put that wing back on the mojo.
She probably would.
And brought back a honey bun.
Oh, I like it. This is what duck hunting's about, fellas. Just laughing and joking and...
Yes, sir.
You bullying me?
Me bullying you. It's absolutely what it's about.
Our dogs work hard on the job, whether you're waterfowling, upland hunting, or just out on the trail for a hard hike. It's a great idea to have the end of the trail, the end of the day checklist to go over the physical conditioning of your dog. We have a checklist that we use at Wild Rose I want to share with you. The first and probably the most important thing to look for is the eyes. Inspect these eyes. We want to pull the lids back and look for any type of debris that is in that eye. There could be seeds, there could be small splinters, there could be any kind of particles in the eyes. If we ran into a problem, we're going to take a swab and some saline solution, and we're going to just rinse the eye out. Open the eye up, lift it back, rinse it really, really well, and you can take a swab and just dab it around and take the debris out. Number 2, ears and nose. Ears on a waterfowling dog are going to get nasty. They're going to get old foul water in there. Take a little bit of gauze. You can put some water on it if you like, or saline solution, and rinse it around on the inside. Really don't put a lot of water or anything down in the ear. You want this ear to stay dry and make sure it's clean. Look for any cuts or snags in the ear. There's a lot of veins in the ear. You can pull those out with a set of hemostats. So if we have a briar in there, we want to pull it out, put a little antibiotic. You're going to be good to go tomorrow. Our next problem we have is little items get up the nose. So if you have that problem, you're going to have to take your hemostats, ease them up the nose, and extract it. So you didn't really like that. But you have to pull that debris out of there. Listen for wheezing, listen for sneezing. Something could be up in the nostrils. Now we're going to be looking on our checklist tells us to look for tears and abrasions in the pads. The webbing of the foot, that is a little bit of tear right there, a little bit of a problem. You see it's sore. And the webbing of the foot can be sore. It can have a puncture wound in it. We want to look for that. If we have a torn nail, if it's not too deep, you can pull your clippers out, cut that nail off, and wrap it. You'll need gauze and you'll need vet wrap, so it will heal. Put a little antibiotic, iodine on it, you'll be good to go in a couple of days. It's going to need some rest. What about the chest cavity? Right under here is particularly susceptible to punctures and scrapes and abrasions. So you want to look for any abrasions there and put some antibiotics on that as well. Last thing we want to look for when we brought Mattis up, did he walk a bit stiff? Was he limping in any way? You can treat that with Rimadyl, or you could go with just buffered aspirin. Never ibuprofen or any type of coated aspirin, but buffered aspirin. That's what you'll be looking for. Rimadyl is also good for the symptoms of cold tail. It's definitely important to have a fully stocked first aid kit back in the truck. You can have this thing ready for any field inspection when you get back to the truck after the hunt. You can find out more information on our checklist at uklabs.com. So go prepared.
Duck Dog with Mike Stewart is presented by Purina Pro Plan, nutrition that performs. DUTV is powered by Browning Ammunition, the best there is. BioLogic, scientifically proven wildlife products. Purina Pro Plan, nutrition that performs. Tetra Hearing, more than hearing protection, it's hearing perfection. Mossy Oak Properties, America's land specialist. Zink Calls, a champion in every call. Closed captioning for Ducks Unlimited Television is brought to you by Mossy Oak Bottomland, the official timber pattern of Ducks Unlimited.
The ATM Green Machine by Zink Calls, a double reed, easy blowing duck call, non-stick design. It's a J-frame style. Easy to tune, easy to take apart, clean, but the magic happens inside here, and that is it has a Z-cut tone channel, which has a bunch of grooves, a bunch of machining done on this area that allows the call not to stick. It's also very easy to install the reeds, take it apart and clean it. Say you have to do something in the field because of the J-frame style. The reeds go simply back against the J-frame and you simply just put your cork in. There's no tuning to this call. Now this call, I would say would be medium in volume, but you can lean on it pretty hard for a double reed duck call. See, it has that high RPM rasp. Very, very responsive. Really good for marsh. I would say marsh calling. Light wind days and medium wind days, 15 mile an hour or less. And or late in the year when ducks are pretty educated as far as calling. Having a softer call a lot of times will be the difference between getting them in and not getting them in. Bring it all the way down. The ATM Green Machine by Zink Calls.
Duck Talk with Fred Zink, powered by Zink Calls, a champion in every call.
We live in a world right now where hardly anybody can agree on anything.
The one thing that remains true, though, is that conservation issues are the uniting factor.
Yeah.
It's the one thing that folks are continuing to agree on, which is the way it needs to be.
Yeah.
They didn't care if you were a girl. They didn't care if you were a Democrat or a Republican, a hunter. We were all there for one cause, and it was really unifying.
There's an old adage, about the man that plants a tree knowing that he'll never sit under the shade of it. It's a long-term goal, and sometimes it's way beyond our lifetime.
I think a big part of growing up is kind of recognizing that there are things in life that are greater than you.
For me, it's not like I could write a big check to DU to something that I cared about. For me, it was the time.
But it's very interesting that we all come from a university background, and we all have played a role in our chapters at home where we're from.
The university program has been.
It's the coolest thing ever.
The coolest thing ever.
I mean, man, I've been part of DU since I was 7, but I remember when I was in college, DU wasn't a priority for me, and see these kids in college, the best years of their lives, willing to volunteer and give up time and energy and to make this stuff happen. It's just unbelievable.
Being able to look at the habitats and be like, wow, I contributed to that. Like, I am doing something, I am making a difference.
If we can accomplish something like this as a bunch of 19, 20-year-olds, I mean, I'm excited to see what the future holds with the people that come out to you.
Ducks Unlimited sets an extremely high bar for tens of thousands of people coming together for a common cause, volunteers, there's nothing in it for them, to put pieces in place that leave a lasting impact on our continent. That's pretty amazing.
1,000 thanks to everyone who made the 26th edition of Ducks Unlimited Television possible. Co-hosts, storytellers, marketing partners, and viewers all make this show the best in outdoor TV. We encourage you to join our mission and improve and restore North America's treasured wetlands resources. Please visit ducks.org to contact a DU chapter near you. Here's to the spectacular adventures that lie ahead. And from your many friends at Ducks Unlimited, see you next season on DUTV.
I'm just a happy worker in the greenhead factory.
Yeah, we got the easy job.
I'm going to tell y'all something, and I'm man enough to say it. My gun wasn't loaded.
I saw you had your fast grass mustache on. I looked up and Jared was like, hello, Simon Legree, hello.